amigo. All right, we're going to jump in this 1952 US Oslo-mobile and go and check out Castillo de Moro. 5 pesos, Castillo de Moro? Okay, okay, gracias, yeah. One of the things that really sets Cuba apart from anywhere else in the world is the great old cars, the leftovers from the 50s and 60s when Havana was in its heyday. Apparently at the time, Cuba was regarded as a playground for the US and a haven for the mafia. It's classic 1952 car, and they're just absolutely everywhere here in Havana. It's just everywhere. Everywhere you look, these cars are. Anywhere else in the world, these cars would be considered as being rare. I really loved riding around it, and I guess it's part of what makes Cuba like a living, working museum. It's really amazing to see that so many of these old cars are actually still running. I imagine that spare parts would be rather hard to come by. Quite a few of them are certainly not what you'd call roadworthy. Okay. Gracias. Okay. Adios. I really loved walking around the old fort. It really felt like I was taking a journey back in time, and it wasn't hard to imagine what it must have been like back in the days of pirates and the old sailing ships. I was completely in awe of the sheer scale of the fortress, with its towering walls, the giant old cannons, the magnificent views of the city, and it was really the perfect place to end my day in Havana. Wow.
Travelling on the bus with a small tour group was a really good way to travel around Cuba, because it's not that easy to hire vehicles and there's not much signage that I could see. So to be able to get around quite easily, and also we certainly have had the opportunity to go to some places that maybe strictly independent travellers may not have been able to go. So some of the experiences we've been having have been really special because of that.
Right. These were the headquarters of our leader, Fidel Castro, during the invasion. He had his headquarters here. There's actually a little place that shows pictures of that moment, and there's even a telephone in situ that he used for making all the calls and the arrangements, okay?
I found that that was such a small museum, and it was really focused, and it was certainly showing the story from a perspective that maybe we haven't heard before in our part of the world.
The Americans bombed our airports first to make sure that we didn't have any planes left. And these are pictures of that, you see?
It's really interesting, and I think the fact that you can actually take photos in here is amazing. It's not something I expected. And I don't know if we'll be able to do that in any of the other museums, so madly running around trying to take as many pictures as I can, and then have the time later to actually think about what's in here. But yeah, I find these smaller museums are often the better ones because they're more personal and direct.
Right, this is one of the many memorials that we will be finding along the road leading to Playa Larga. Antero Fernandez Vargas is one of the Cuban soldiers that was killed by this mercenary plane. What they did, they tricked the Cuban troops into believing they were one of us, and they shoot them from behind as he flew to Playa Larga. So many memorials like this we're going to be finding, as I said already, along the way to Playa Larga.
When I was in the park in Camagüey, it was quite a good opportunity to listen to some quite good Cuban music. It seems to me that a lot of the places that we visit around here have lots of people just sitting around with lots of musical ability and not much to do, and it doesn't seem to take much to get a bit of a party started. We had quite a good time just dancing with some of the local people who just turned up. Everybody seems to be up for a little bit of fun, given even the slightest bit of provocation.
At the beginning of our walking tour, we travelled up one of the streets and came across about a dozen locals playing dominoes. Boy, they take it really seriously, but it's good to see that they've got their enjoyment, their outlets. The interesting part of walking around the local streets is you get a bit of a glimpse into the houses, and most people are sitting out the front. The heat of the day, I guess, you know, mum, dad, grandpa, grandma, sons, daughters. There's the whole family, generations of them are just sitting around, you know, relaxing in the weather. It's just a part of the culture, sitting out and looking out. The walking tours in general are always actually very good, because you won't spend hours just searching the town to find what you're looking for, whereas the walking tour, you are shown the highlights of the city. You can come back later and have a look, but at least it's interesting, the points are pointed out to you, and I found myself at the walking tour very good and worthwhile. Oh, this is great, and that breeze is so nice. Oh, cool.
Behind us is the fort of La Punta, right? There were 3 forts in Baracoa. This was one of them, guarding the entrance of the bay from pirate attacks. It's very scenic also, right?
Matanzas is definitely worth a visit if you're interested in seeing Cuban life, how Cuba really operates without having tourists around, without having too many hustlers coming up asking you if you want to buy cigars. It's a really good place to just come and visit, chill out for a day, maybe 2.
This is a kind of typical Cuban afternoon. The sun is bursting down and you see all these beautiful people from all the different races just going their kind of daily tasks, which I think is more or less hanging around.